Okay, in this particular session, we will discuss that how we can take input from Java, how we can take input from the keyboard, and what are the different methods that we are using there. So in Java, we have a scanner class. Like in Java, we have a scanner class that help us to read the input from the keyboard, and for that particular thing, we have a package over there. Like in other languages we use header files. In case of a Java, we have different packages. Now we will discuss this concept of packages in future sessions, but meanwhile you just understand a package is something like that contains different classes. Okay, different interfaces are there, so it contains the definitions of the different inbuilt methods that we are using. Okay, so scanner class in Java is found in basically java.util package. Okay, so this Java provides various ways to read input from the keyboard, and the one of the way that we are using here is that java.util.scanner class. So what happened? This Java scanner class breaks your input into the tokens using a delimiter, which is a white space by default. So it will be taking your input in the form of a, like we as a token, and it will distinguish between different values by a delimiter, which is by default it will be using white spaces in between that. Okay, so Java scanner class is widely used to parse text from string for strings and primitive type using a regular expression. So it will be we are using the scanner class to just have a concept of parsing. So parsing is something like that we are just reading something in the form of a whatever the text that we will pass to this particular with the help of this Java, we need to parse that particular text. So it will be taking that particular thing in the form of a strings or any other primitive type that we need to pass it to it. Okay, so it is the simplest way that we can get input in case of Java. So for that we require this scanner class. So we can get input from using any primitive type. So if we need to give input in case of Java from keyboard, so now in that case, like we have a primitive type like integer, long, double, byte, float, etc. So all these are the primitive types. So if you want to take input in the form of any primitive type, at that case you can use this scanner class. Okay, so Java scanner class is being basically extends the object class. Fine. So here, first of all, we will just implement one program based on that how we can take using this scanner class, how we can take input from the keyboard in case of Java, and after that we will discuss that what basic output will be there that will help us that the user to give input to the this system using this scanner class. So the first thing is that we are using import. So import is something like that when we need to import some particular package in this Java language. So here we are having the main package here. So we will not go in so much detail. So just remember Java is the main package. Under this particular part, we have a util, and under this util, we have the scanner class. So we are representing this particular class with the capital letters here. So that is a scanner class that we are having here. Now, let's suppose I am writing like this class. So we can we need to scan the any name we can give. So like this, I am using this SS class. So as you know that we need to define that particular class here. So this is the class that we are with the name SS that we have defined. Now we will be using public static. So that is public static void main. Okay, so we will use this particular line in order to use this main method, and we are writing like string arguments. Okay, so that is the string argument. So we have to make the this letter as capital. So because we are using this string argument class here, so that is the string arguments we are having. Now, first of all, as we know that in order to read input from the user, what we are doing, we are using a scanner class. Scanner is an inbuilt class that is available in the util package of the main Java package. So first of all, what we will be doing, we will be creating a object of the scanner. So I just highlight this point, creating object of scanner class. Okay, so first of all, we will create a object of the scanner class. So here what we will doing, we will writing like this, scanner, like input equal to new. So new will allocate that particular memory to that object scanner, and we are passing like system dot in. System dot in. Okay, so what we are doing here, that we are creating a object of this scanner class. So what object we have created here, that is INP, and we are just allocating that particular memory using that new operator, and here we are passing that argument system dot in. Okay, so if you remember, in case of system dot out dot println, we were using that system dot out dot println. Okay, but here we are taking input from the user, so we are using the system class with the in method here. Okay, so this is the, we can say that in is the we are using this in system dot in just to have, just to receive input from the user part. Okay, so this is how the first main step is that we are using. So here what we are using here, we are using the system class and using that in object for this system class here. So what is the main funda of using this scanner class? That if we want to take input in case of Java, so we require the scanner class, and we have created the object of that particular scanner class, and after the allocation we have passed that argument, that is system dot in here. Okay. So next thing that we are using, so in is basically an input stream. Okay, so what basically in is using here, this is an input stream. As in case of a system dot out, we were using the output stream. Here we are using it as an input stream, which is being connected to the keyboard. Okay, so why we are connected to the keyboard? Because we want input from the user at the time of runtime. Okay, so it is like something like that we are using this system dot in, that is just to take input from the keyboard part. Now the next thing that we will be doing here is that here, now let's suppose I just print this part, system dot out dot print ln. Okay, so I just print this particular form, and here I can write like that, enter your college name. Okay, so I am taking this input in such form. So I am writing like this, just printing the statement system dot out dot print, just to enter your college name here. Fine. Next is that now is the case when we want to take input from the keyboard. So here what we will be doing, we will be taking input from the keyboard part. Input from the keyboard. Okay, so we are taking input from the keyboard here. So we are writing like this, string. So here what we are using, that I want to take the input. So let's suppose my name of my college is in the string form. So I'm writing like this, string name equal to, so I will use the object of the scanner class, that is INP dot next line. INP dot next line method. Now what is this next line method? So what is this next line method? Basically, Java scanner class provides us with different method to return the type of value that we will demand from it. So here, what type of a value I want here? That is, we need to pass. We want to read a string from the user. For that particular case, we are having this next line. Similarly, we have a next boolean also, next byte. So boolean is there when we want a boolean value. Next byte is there when we want to have a byte value. Okay, double is there, float is there, next float, next double, next int, so next long. All these things are used to read a particular type of a value from the user. So if we want to take the input in the form of a string, so at that time we require this next line. Okay, so we are using this next line method in case if we want to use that particular string, if we want to take input in the form of a string. Fine. So this is the way that how we can take input from the keyboard. So what we have to do, we have to first define that what type of a value we want to take. So we want to take a value in the form of a string. So this is a string that we are having, and name, that is the name of a college that we want to enter. And with the help of the object of the scanner class, that is INP, we will call this particular method, that is next line, that will take the value in the form of a string here. Fine. Next is that after this now we have first we have created so the first step is that we need to create the object of the scanner class. Second step is that we need to take the input from the keyboard. Now we want to print the same. So finally we need to print the college name. So we need to print that particular name. So here what will happen? So I will write like this: system dot out. So I will be writing like this: system dot out dot println, and here we can write like this: my name or my college name is, okay, so that is name that we have passed in the previous string. Okay, so we are using like this. Fine. So we have opened that particular scanner class, but now we will also close that particular scanner class here. So what we will be doing here, we will be writing like this: input dot close. Sorry, we have used INP. So we are using, this is the INP is the object of the scanner class. So we are writing like this: in INP dot close. Okay, so that will close my scanner class. So I just write here like this: closes the scanner class. Okay. So I am writing like this: INP dot close. Okay. So this is the case. You can see that what we are doing, what main benefit of using this scanner class. Like if sometime we need a input from the user side, so for that particular case we require a scanner class. So scanner class is found at this particular java.util package that will help us, that will provide us with the various ways to read the different type of input from the keyboard. In my case, what type of input I was using, that is of string. Okay, so that's why I have used next line method here. Otherwise, we have a different input type also, like we have a next boolean byte, next double is there, next float is there. So we are having different simultaneous different type of a input types. Okay, so basically it is used for the primitive types, input. We are having a primitive type of input here. So at that time we can use this scanner class. Okay, so scanner class is basically used to parse the text, we can say that, for strings or any type of a primitive type using a regular expression here. Okay, so scanner class also provides us, as I told you, that it provides us with the different methods, like next line method is there, next boolean is there, next byte is there. So that is the we can say that these are the different methods that are available in case of a scanner class that help us to input different type of a input from the user. Okay, so what we how we can get this particular Java scanner class, that we need to create the instance of the Java scanner which will read input from the user. For this particular part, we need to pass this particular thing, that is system.in. So that is a we need to pass this type of input stream in the constructor of this scanner class. So we are just passing this particular we say that parameter just to take input from the user. So why we have used the system.in? Because we are using the input stream here. So we require an input stream to read the input from the keyboard. So that's why we have passed a system.in. So the first thing is that anytime if you want to read the input from the user, first step is that you should create the object of that particular scanner class by passing this argument, that is system.in. After that, second step is that you need to tell that what type of input you want. So in my case, I am using a string input. So that's why I am writing like next line. I'm using this next line method. Okay. And finally, we need to this scanner, close the scanner class once we have taken input from the user. Okay, so now let's save this program and see what output we will be getting here. So that is ss.java. So we can write like this and to save in my folder here. So that is ss.java. Okay. So now I am going to share my command prompt screen with you. Okay, so here you can see like I have written Java C. I will first compile my program to see if there is any type of an error. So we are writing like this Java C ss.java. Okay, now I will run my program. So I will write like this Java SS. Okay. Here, see, it is asking input from the user. So I can write like this ACE3. Okay, so this is my college name. And here my line has been printed like my college name is ECT. Fine. So this is the case that you can see that how we can use this scanner class in order to take the input from the user side. Fine. So this was all about the scanner class. So the main thing that you need to remember here is that the first step is that we need to include this Java, import this scanner class. Then we need to create this object of a scanner class. And after that, we need to read the user input here like this. And we must define that what type of input we want to use. And finally, we can have that output user input here. Okay, so this is all, and we have to close that particular scanner class. Fine. So this was all about the scanner class. That is how we can input from the how we can take input from the user.